Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Nahh B podcast. I'm your host, Nahh B. We are back with another video, this one regarding UFC 275, Teixeira vs Prochazka. This is going to be the breakdown and prediction episode. This episode, I'm just going to be breaking down the main three fights on the main card. But real quick, I am going to read off the whole card, just so you guys know what's going down. So again, this is UFC 275. It's taking place in Singapore. But it's still going to be taking place at 10 o'clock at night. So UFC and Dana was like, fuck them. All the people over there that's about to be watching at like, I don't even know, 2 in the morning, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Something crazy. So in the early prelims, to get everything going, is going to be a women's featherweight bout between Ramona Pascal, who is 6-3, taking on Jocelyn Edwards, who is 10-4. Followed by a women's strawweight bout between Nahh, who is 19-5, taking on Silvana Gomez Juarez, who is 10-4. And then the featured early prelim bout is a bantamweight fight between Kang Kyang Ho, who is 17-9 and 0 with a 1-0 contest, taking on Nahh Bajiro. Although it has been a minute since I've been doing these episodes, one thing that will not change is me mispronouncing names of fighters I have not seen yet. But yeah, Nahh Bajiro, who is 12-3. So going into the regular prelims, the first fight is a welterweight bout between Andre Fialho, who is 16-4 with 1-0 contest, taking on Jake Matthews, who is 17-5. Fialho, he's coming off a quick turnaround. He just did some nasty work on the dude he fought last and knocked him dead. So quick turnaround, that should be a good fight. But after that fight, it's a lightweight bout between Hayasir Mahashati, I believe I've seen this kid fight before, maybe not, but yeah, Hayasir Mahashati, who is 6-1, taking on Steve Garcia, who is 12-4. After that's a featherweight bout between Choi Seong Woo, who is 10-4, taking on Joshua Kulibao.
I don't know.
Who is 9-1-1. And the featured prelim bout is a middleweight fight between Brendan Allen, who is 18-5, taking on Jacob Malikoun, who is 6-1. And on the main card, the first fight to get everything going is a welterweight bout between Jack Della Maddalena, who is 11-2, taking on Ramazan Emeev, who is 20-5. After that is a flyweight bout between Rogerio Bontorin, who is 16-4 with 2-0 contests, taking on Manel Cape, who is 17-6. After that, it is a big women's strawweight fight between Weili Zhang, who is 21-3, taking on Joanna Jedrzejczyk, who is 16-4. And for the co-main event of the night, it is a women's flyweight championship bout between Valentina Shevchenko, the champion, who is 22-3, taking on the challenger Taila Santos, who is 19-1. And in the main event, it is a light heavyweight championship bout between our hometown zone and light heavyweight champion GloverTeixeira, taking on the number one contender JiriProchazka. Glover is 33-7, and Jiri is 28-3 and 1 draw. But alrighty, so with such a banger of a card, I'm just going to break down the top 3 fights. Like I said earlier, starting with the women's strawweight bout between the rematch between Joanna Jedrzejczyk and Weili Zhang. So as I usually do, we go into their last 3 fights, starting with Weili Zhang. Her last fight was against Rose Namajunas, which she lost by split decision in November of 2021. And that was a rematch for the strawweight title. Before that was against Rose Namajunas the first time, which she lost also by head kick in round 1 in April 2021, and that's when she lost the title. And then before that, she fought Joanna Jedrzejczyk the first time, and she won that fight by split decision in March 2020, and I believe that fight got Fight of the Year. As for Joanna Jedrzejczyk, her last fight was against Weili. She lost that by split decision, as I just said, and that was in March 2020. Before that, she fought Michelle Waterson, which she won by unanimous decision, and that was in October 2019. And before that, she fought Valentina Shevchenko for the flyweight title. She moved up to flyweight for that. and she lost by unanimous decision in December 2018. But yeah, so in that first fight, which was a 5-round title fight, we saw the then champion Weili defend the title and defeat Joanna in a battle for the ages and for the history books, and what I think was the greatest women's strawweight fight of all time, and arguably the greatest women's fight in general, period. It was a very close fight statistically. Weili more than likely won based on the damage that she inflicted on Joanna, because at the end of that fight, Joanna walked out the cage looking like Megamind's long-lost sister.
Damn!
But when comparing the stats, they were very close, and Joanna even outlanded Weili in total strikes in round 2 and 5, whereas the other 3 rounds, they were exactly even in strikes. But one of the main things to look at, again, is, that this is now going to be a 3-round fight and not a 5-round fight, which is kind of stupid, because they definitely could have made this a 5-round fight like they made, Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler the other month, when that was a co-main event, and I don't even think it was a co-main event. I think it was, the third fight, one of the last 3 fights on the main card. But yeah, I think they could have did that. They could have did the same thing that they did there with this fight, and they should have. But alright, let's get into the numbers. So coming into the fight, Joanna will have a 2-inch height advantage, with her being 5'6" and Weili being 5'4". Joanna will also have a 2-inch reach advantage. Weili is a stance switch fighter, and Joanna fights in orthodox. When it comes to strikes, which is both fighters' specialty, Joanna lands 6.3 significant strikes per minute with an accuracy of 48%, while Weili lands just under 5.5 significant strikes per minute with an accuracy of 45%. Joanna absorbs little over 3 significant strikes per minute with a 64% defense, and Weili takes little over 4 significant strikes per minute with a defense of 52%. When it comes to grappling, Weili averages little under 2 takedowns per 15 minutes with a 31% accuracy, while Joanna doesn't even average half a takedown, so her accuracy of 62% doesn't really say much. But as for takedowns defended, Joanna has an 81% takedown defense, and Weili has a 60% takedown defense. And neither of them averages any submissions, well, damn near any submissions per fight. But going into how I think this will play out, as we saw in the last 3 fights of each of them, Weili has been the more active of the two. Joanna has not fought since that first fight back in 2020. Usually I would say a lot of time away from the cage, could be someone's downfall coming back from a long layoff. But after taking the damage that she did in that first fight, the 2 years off could kind of be a blessing in disguise. But also because her last fight was that barn burner and she took as much damage as she did, coming into this fight, she could be a lot more cautious, of getting into a straight up brawl with Weili, which again could honestly and probably would be the best thing for her. But yeah, if she can make Weili chase her around the cage while popping the jab and, keeping Weili on the outside all fight, then it could be in her favor. Along with her jab, Joanna has a really, really nice and quick leg kick, which she definitely should utilize to slow Weili down, because Weili likes to bounce. She likes to bounce in her step. So leg kicks could definitely slow her down and take a lot away from her planting power, especially when she throws those hook power shots that she loves so much. And being the longer fighter, Joanna should also use her teep kicks, which she has very nice teep kicks, and just front kicks in general, whether it be to the body or the face. But yeah, that would be perfect to keep Weili at distance. As for Weili, though, it's pretty much the opposite. Weili is at her best when she closes the distance and blitzes, and has the octagon control and pressure going. And when she closes the distance, and lands those power shots. We saw in her last fight with Rose, that her downfall was not giving Rose the distance and space, needed to throw that head kick that she didn't see coming like the first fight. Although it was very quick and early in the fight of the stoppage, it didn't take long for the feel-out process to come to a straight-up halt. And, she did much better in the second fight, which she did ultimately lose, but she definitely did a lot better. But yeah, Weili's best strike is the overhand power right, the right hook also, which she landed all fight against Joanna the first time they met, and she did that all just getting in the inside. Perfect timing and, accuracy, and I'm pretty sure the plan is to replicate that again this fight, but, it'll all come down to how Joanna comes into this fight. If she obliges into that kind of fight, then that's what's going to happen. But I do think this is going to be a stand-up affair like the last fight, but I don't think it's going to be as intense, unfortunately. It will 100% for sure not be a snooze fest like Esparza versus Rose the other month. Let's hope. But I don't believe that it'll be a fight like that. But I also don't believe it'll be a fight of the year contender or fight of the year like the first one was. With this being a 3-round fight, though, the output of each fighter could very well be very high. But I just feel like the level of respect that they have for each other is definitely going to be there after that first fight. And I don't think it'll turn into a brawl like how the first one did. And although both fighters do have submission victories on their record, more so Weili with 7 and Joanna just having 1, I literally doubt either of them will be going for any takedowns this fight, and they're just going to be kickboxing pretty much. Maybe some clinch fighting here and there, but I think it's just going to be a nice old kickboxing match. But honestly, if there is any takedowns happening, I could see it coming from Weili. But I've said shit like that before, and so don't be surprised if Joanna gets a takedown. But as for my prediction, though, I'm going with Joanna by decision. I know. I think it's going to be a very competitive fight, no matter what, and both fighters is going to have their moments. But just like the last fight, I think this goes to decision in a very close back-and-forth fight. But I just see Joanna outstriking Weili and staying out of the way of big shots, unlike last time, and just do enough to, win the judges' scorecards. Again, 2 years off, so who knows what kind of mentality she's coming back with. But seeing her recent interviews, she seems good to go. But she's a smart fighter. I know she knows how she has to fight. And, it all comes down to that. But after Rose versus Esparza the other month, both of these two want to put on a great show, to get the next title shot against Esparza. So, and Esparza is the one that Joanna defeated when Joanna first got the title. But, regardless, let's just hope for a great fight. But yeah, I'm going with Joanna by decision on this one. Alright, going into the co-main event, which is the women's flyweight title bout between Valentina Shevchenko, the champ, taking on Taila Santos. But going into their last 3 fights, starting with Taila Santos, her last fight was against Joanne Wood, which she won by submission with a rear naked choke in round 1, and that was in November 2021. Before that, she fought Roxanne Modafferi, which she won by unanimous decision in September 2021. And before that, she fought Jillian Robertson, which she won by unanimous decision in December 2020. As for Valentina Shevchenko, her last fight was against Lauren Murphy, which she won by TKO with elbows in round 4. That was in September 2021. Before that, she fought Jessica Andrade, which she won by TKO, also with elbows, this time in round 2, in April 2021. And before that, she fought Jennifer Maia, which she won by unanimous decision, and that was in November 2020. All of those, obviously, title defenses. But, alrighty, so going into the numbers and stats, I'm going to do a little breakdown and prediction, but it's probably not going to be too long, because I'm pretty sure a majority of all of us have the same prediction and outcome of this fight, besides Talia's family and friends. Sorry, Talia. But yeah, regardless, let's get into the numbers. So coming into this fight, Talia will have a 1-inch height advantage, with her being 5'6" and Valentina being 5'5", and will also have the 2-inch reach advantage. Valentina fights in southpaw and Talia fights in orthodox. When it comes to significant strikes, Talia lands about 3.7 strikes per minute with a 50% accuracy, and Valentina lands about 3.2 per minute with an accuracy of 52%. As for strikes absorbed, Talia takes about 2.2 significant strikes per minute with a defense of 63%, and Valentina takes about 1.9 per minute with a defense of 64%. In the grappling department, Talia averages just under 2.5 takedowns per 15 minutes with an accuracy of 86% of them being successful, and has an 88% takedown defense. Valentina, on the other hand, averages about 2.6 takedowns per 15 minutes with an accuracy of 64% of them being completed and has a 77% takedown defense. As for submission attempts, Talia averages just over 1 per 15 minutes and Valentina averages just under half a submission attempt per 15 minutes. And for those who may be confused with those numbers, since Valentina has a bunch of submissions on her record, these numbers are just UFC career stats. I believe Valentina has just one submission in her UFC career. But yeah, so going straight into it, going right into my prediction, as I said earlier, I'm not going to go way too far into this, as a lot of our predictions, I'm sure, are the same. To keep it pretty simple, the only way I see Talia winning this fight is, if she uses her size advantage, of course, and just be a complete bully and, try to wrap Valentina up for most of the fight and, just not give her a chance to strike on the outside. Talia is bigger, but, of course, that will also mean she will be slower. And Valentina is an amazing counter striker, where she will throw 2-3 strikes after dodging one shot from her opponent. And she will definitely have the speed advantage here. If Talia tries to just strike with her all night, then she will just get countered and battered all fight. As stated before, Talia has an 88% takedown accuracy and should look to implement that here if she looks to, stand a chance, honestly. If you watch the Valentina versus Jennifer Maia fight, we actually saw Maia win round 2 by getting the takedown and controlling the fight on the ground for a lot of that round. But she did proceed to lose every other moment of that fight. Talia, she needs to do the same thing here pretty much and do it every single round. Easier said than done. Valentina is, arguably the female GOAT, and for good reason. But as for Valentina, she just needs to be herself. There's not much to say to break down what I think she needs to do. Just strike from the outside, pick and pop her shots every minute and every moment she sees an opening in that fight. And just keep Talia, chasing combos after combos. And I wouldn't be surprised if she even finishes a couple combos with a takedown attempt herself. Unless she can get control of the situation right after the takedown and get in a crucifix position that she loves, then she could definitely end this by TKO like she has in her last couple fights. But honestly, I don't know if I could see her holding Talia down, with Talia's size. I can't see Valentina holding her down for that long. And Talia also has a very good takedown defense. So, as for my prediction, though, obviously, I just see Valentina having another easy night in the office. A lot of people, including myself, like to compare Talia to Amanda Nunes just based on build and size.
What you talking about, Willis?
Obviously, obviously not based off skill set or greatness, championship caliber, but just similar to just her build. So I kind of see this fight being pretty similar to Valentina versus Nunes too, just with Valentina doing much better and having a lot more offense here, and just doing much better and obviously getting the win, because she did not win that second fight with Nunes, even though I think she did. Of course, anything can happen in the fight game, and Valentina definitely could get clipped like the best of them. I just think that Valentina's focus and motivation to stay on top of her game will outweigh anything Talia brings to the table, unfortunately. Well, unfortunately for her, at least. But yeah, so I'm going with Valentina by decision. But in all honesty, don't be surprised if Valentina pulls off a sneaky armbar or something. I would not be surprised there, kind of like she did against the now champion Juliana Pena. She's very sneaky. Sneaky. Alrighty, going into the main event, which is the light heavyweight championship bout between GloverTeixeira, the champ, taking on JiriProchazka. As I said in the beginning of this video, Glover is our hometown guy. He's pretty much our hometown Rocky. So, damn right I'm going to be very biased with my pick and how I want this to play out. But at the same time, I'm also going to be realistic also. But definitely going to be biased right now. But yeah, so I didn't take notes of the actual breakdown. I have the notes of the numbers, so I'm gonna go through that, and then I'm just gonna go off the top of the head and talk about what I think Glover has to do, and what I think Jiri has to do, and obviously who I think is gonna win or who I want to win. Regardless, let's get into the numbers. As we know, Glover is in his 40s, and he got the championship belt in his last outing again when he took it from Jan Blachowicz, which he submitted in round 2 in Abu Dhabi. Jiri, on the other hand, is younger than me. He was born in 1992. Damn. Now I feel old as hell. Well, I mean, that ain't that big of a difference from me, but it still makes me feel old. But yeah, if you've seen my one of my videos in the channel, if you go through my videos, you'll see the reaction of me and all the boys when Glover won the championship. We bugged out. Matter of fact, I'll just play it right now. It's my video. So yeah, even for that fight, I was insanely nervous. I'm so much more nervous for this one. That's needless to say, because this matchup is scary. Alright, let's get into their last 3 wins though really quick. Starting with Glover, his last win was when he beat Jan Blachowicz for the title. I do not have the date for that. Like I said, I didn't take those kinds of notes for this fight. But yeah, he beats Jan Blachowicz by submission in that fight in round 2. Before that, he fought Thiago Santos, which he beat by submission also. And before that, he beat Anthony Smith. Beat the shit out of Anthony Smith. And as for Jiri, he's only had 2 fights in the UFC, so he's, storming onto, not storming, he's already stormed onto the scene. Title shot right after 2 fights. But his last fight was against Dominic Reyes, which he obliterated with a spinning back elbow. And before that, he beat Volkan Oezdemir, and he won that also by knockout. Devastating knockout. Alright, let's get into the numbers. Jan. Jiri is coming in with a 1-inch height advantage, and he is also coming in with a 4-inch reach advantage. That's scary. Alright, let's get into the striking numbers. Glover lands just over 3.7 significant strikes per minute with an accuracy of 48%, and Jiri lands just over 7 significant strikes per minute with a 52% accuracy. When it comes to strikes absorbed, Glover absorbs 3.8 strikes per minute, significant strikes per minute, with a defense of 54%, and Jiri absorbs 6.8 significant strikes per minute. Something to watch, with a defense of 48%. 6.8 could mean something, hopefully. When it comes to the grappling department, Glover averages 2.1 takedowns every 15 minutes, and Jiri just averages just under 1. I believe he's only gotten 1 takedown anyways in 2 fights. Glover has a takedown accuracy of 39%, and Jiri has a takedown accuracy of 100%. I guess that 1 takedown he got on Reyes was the only one he's ever shot. As for takedown defense, Glover has a 60% takedown defense, and Jiri has a 50% takedown defense. And as for submissions averaged in 15 minutes, Glover averages just over 1 in 15 minutes, and Jiri averages 0. But alright, so let's go into the breakdown and prediction, I guess. So obviously, like I said, Glover is our hometown guy. He was a former coach of mine when I trained at ATT in Danbury here. That's where he was training, and at one point he was considered a head coach, and there was a lot of nights where he taught the class. So yeah, I like to consider him a former coach, and yeah, he's just a great dude overall. Great dude, does a lot for the community, and he definitely he deserves getting that title. But with that being said, what I think Glover needs to do is pretty obvious. Jiri is a very unpredictable and super unorthodox fighter, even though, you know, he fights an orthodox stance. He is very unpredictable, and you could just tell just with his stance. Straight out of a kung fu movie, and it works. But the problem with that is his hands are down, and you know what I mean? All that kung fu shit, Glover has to fucking throw all that shit out the window. You know what I mean? And so Glover pretty much has to fight this fight exactly how he fought, kind of like how he fought Jan Kuchibala, except for, you know, the beginning where he got into a straight up fucking striking match. And even when he fought Jan this last fight, you know, I mean, granted, Jan is also up there in age as well. So Glover catching Jan, that was, you know, it was pretty likely, I guess you could say. Either of them catching each other, obviously. But Jan just looked a step behind that whole fight, regardless. And Glover capitalized. But, yeah, Jiri, like I said, dude's younger than me, so he's got a lot of energy, and has this very jittery movement, like I said, straight out of a fucking movie. And Glover is, you know what I mean, when it comes to his striking, he's a boxer, you know. When it comes to his hands, he's just a straight up boxer. He'll throw a head kick here and there, but more so, he works with his hands. But with this fight, man, Jiri coming in with a, you know, 4-inch reach advantage, 1-inch height advantage. You know, he's gonna look to throw that spinning shit. He's gonna look to throw that crazy shit, you know. Glover has to just straight up get in his face. You know what? Not even get in his face. Get in his fucking belly button and shoot for takedowns as much as he can. Get that fight to the ground and grind that shit out. Straight up. I really, really, really hope he doesn't go in there and the first even minute of the fight that he goes striking. If he strikes, throw 2, shoot for the takedown right away. Take him down, push him up against the fence, grind him out. Whatever. Do what you gotta do. But do not stand and trade with him. This is supposed to be a breakdown, but it's like I said, it's about to be very biased up in here. But Jiri, on the other hand, obviously, if he wins this fight, it's not going to be by no damn decision. It'll be by another devastating knockout, probably with a fucking spinning elbow or spinning kick or, you know, something fucking ridiculous. Probably a fucking up kick. But, you know, you already know who I'm going with. You know who I'm riding with. Danbury, 203, stand up. We're going with Glover. But may the best man win regardless. I'm a fan of Jiri. You can't not be a fan. Dude is interesting as hell. But, yeah, regardless. Yeah, I'm going with Glover either by a submission or by a dominant decision win. Grind him out all fight. Make it boring. Fuck it. But yeah, if Jiri wins, it'll be by a devastating knockout. But regardless, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. I will see you guys with the next one. This was Nahh B Podcast. I'm your host, Nahh B. Peace.